I've always been fascinated with mental toughness and athletes who possess it, and I've spent many years trying to understand this topic. Much of our physical ability is determined by our body structure. I can train as much as I want, but I'll never beat Usain Bolt in a foot race. Mental toughness, on the other hand, is something that can be learned and cultivated. It can be forged through practice and struggle, naturally. Some people are born with a higher level of mental toughness than others, but on the whole, it's a skill that anyone can cultivate to a relatively high level. Mental toughness is the ability to perform at an optimal level when the stakes are at their highest. Whether that means closing a huge sale or fighting back from the brink of defeat, mental toughness means we don't allow the situation to overwhelm us emotionally. One of the most respected NFL coaches, Bill Belichick, defines mental toughness as doing what's right for the team regardless of how you might be feeling at the time. In other words, mental toughness is about sacrifice, doing something that's difficult, pushing past your threshold, playing injured, or playing a role you might not be comfortable playing. It's about putting the team first. But talking about mental toughness is easy. For every athlete that is mentally tough, there are probably 10 athletes that aren't. So how do we improve our mental toughness? Control your mind or it will control you. Boiled down to its most basic elements, mental toughness comes down to two choices: to control your mind or to let your mind control you. When we don't control our minds, we accept whatever programming has been inputted earlier. You see, most of us never chose our current mental programming. We simply stumbled onto it. And now it's the way we deal with life's various challenges and situations. For example, if your default reaction to high-stake moments is fear, anxiety, or overexcitement, it's because somewhere down the line you learned that strategy works for you. That's obviously not a particularly smart strategy, but at the time when you accepted it as part of your programming, it was clearly good enough. And once we accept programming, we usually stop thinking about it and it becomes our default reaction to similar situations. So if we want to increase our mental toughness, we are going to have to do a little reprogramming of our minds first. From my experience, the key to being mentally tougher is to control your focus and eliminate the little voice of doubt and critique. It's all in your mind. Most content you will find on this topic breaks mental toughness down into various subcategories, such as focus, poise, confidence, courage, and so forth. Although that may make sense from a scientific perspective, I've found that such an approach makes it difficult for the average person to put any of the advice to use. So what follows is my attempt to provide an easier and more natural process to help you perform better when it really counts. I've successfully used these techniques myself over the past few years, and I believe they can do the same for you. Let's get to them. Start with small discomforts. If you aren't currently mentally tough, then trying to take on too much at once will force you to fall back into your old habits and abandon all hope of becoming a Navy SEAL-like badass. So before you go taking 20-minute ice baths, training like The Rock, or working all day long, start small. Even little things can help you build your mental strength. Something as small as doing 15 push-ups every morning, and adding one more push-up every day that you wake up is a great way to get started. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Sit in the car without the AC or heating on. Make your bed every morning. Clean your home or apartment before you go to sleep for the night. Start your morning with a 10-minute walk outside instead of checking Facebook and Instagram. Make a list of 15-20 small things that you can do throughout the week and then commit to doing one of them every day for the next 30 days. This will provide you with a foundation for mental toughness that will last you a lifetime. Embrace the extremes. The two best ways to build mental toughness are extreme heat and extreme cold, namely saunas and cold showers. Neither of these activities will kill you, but they suck. And they suck hard. This is why they're the perfect way to boost your mental toughness. Saunas have been shown to have countless benefits for your body, from slower aging to improved synthesis of muscle and HGH to a clearer complexion. Starting with a 15-minute sauna session every day, if you have access to one, is a great way to build your mental toughness. On the other side of the spectrum, cold showers are a great way to build your mental toughness every morning. Start out with 60 seconds of cold water before switching it to hot, and work your way up until you can take a 7 to 10 minute shower without turning the knob too hot. Do these two things for 30 days and your mental strength will double, I promise. Meditate. I know it might seem weird, but one of the best ways to boost your mental toughness is to meditate. Sitting down and thinking about nothing other than your breath is way harder than you might imagine, and the temptation to quit a session early, peek at the clock, or drift off into a daydream about a romantic entanglement with your favorite celeb can feel overwhelming. With just 10 minutes a day, this practice will not only help you boost your mental toughness, but it will actually build up your prefrontal cortex, make you smarter and more empathetic, improve your memory, and reduce systemic inflammation. Not too bad for sitting down and shutting up, huh? Take on a big challenge. The best way to build your mental toughness is to push yourself to do something you literally don't believe you can do. Whether it's a marathon, Spartan race, bench pressing 225 pounds, or anything else, pick something that scares you shitless and commit to it. Don't do something so crazy that you'll hurt yourself, but push yourself beyond what you believe you're capable of and come out on the other side victorious. The elation you'll feel and the mental strength you'll have cultivated will be incalculable. Give up your biggest vices for a month. Whether it's TV, cigarettes, marijuana, porn, alcohol, or some other activity, substance, find the one thing that you know isn't truly serving you that you love and give it up for 30 days. You don't have to give it up for life, but taking a month to consciously abstain from something that you know isn't accelerating your life is a great way to build your mental toughness and improve your general quality of life. I've done this personally with video games, porn, alcohol, and social media, and the benefits were tremendous. When you're done with this challenge, you will not only have a greater level of mental toughness, but you'll be able to balance your vices in a healthier way that allows you to enjoy them without being controlled by them. 6. Be positive. I mean really, really positive. It's easy to get down on yourself and let the inner critic run free when things aren't going well, but that isn't going to help you. Instead, fight the urge to criticize and ask yourself if you can make a commitment that you will only bring forth positive energy for the remainder of the match. I've found that when you prioritize eliminating all negative thoughts, your focus automatically shifts to the positive ones, and that in turn makes you more likely to enjoy and excel in the big moment. 7. Focus only on what you control. Yes, we play to win. That's why we keep score. But spending time thinking about the potential outcome just diverts your focus and fills your head with unimportant, distracting thoughts. The remedy is to be present at the moment and let nature take its course. Focus only on the things you actually control, your approach and your attitude. What happens after the next point or after the match doesn't matter. I've found this approach helps me relax, focus, and play my best at the key moments. 8. Enjoy the big moments. This is probably my favorite technique because it takes a moment that is stressful and intimidating and turns it into a moment that's fun and exciting, something you actually look forward to. The next time you find yourself in a big moment in a game, remind yourself how exciting and fun these big moments are compared to a casual game with nothing at stake. These are the moments you'll remember and what you'll all discuss after the games. Enjoy them, embrace them, and feel them with every cell in your body. 9. A prepared mind is a more confident mind. It's been said that self-confidence is your ability to influence the world around you. What better way to do that than through practice? When you know you've practiced a single shot thousands of times, you have a lot more faith in being able to rely on your training in a big moment. You don't need to will yourself to do something that has very little chance of succeeding. Remind yourself that all that sweat and sacrifice was a price you paid so you could be victorious today. 10. Keep your emotional level steady. Some of us get more easily up and down than others. The more up and down you get, the more likely you are going to get overexcited or overwhelmed by the situation. And that puts you in a bad spot to win the big points consistently. The key is to distance yourself from the game just enough so that you're not swept away by the emotional tides. Don't only focus on not getting down. Also make sure you don't get too high either because that disrupts your focus also. Visualize remaining calm and composed in even the biggest situations. Act like you've been in those situations 100 times, and eventually you'll feel like it too. 11. Have a short memory. This is also one of my favorites. It's so easy to get angry and criticize ourselves when we make a mistake, but all that usually does is turn one bad play into another. If the previous point or play didn't go your way, you need to forget it immediately and concentrate on the next one. Don't let one bad play ruin the next one. Just make a note and move on. 12. Forget about how you might look. Sometimes we start thinking about how bad we might appear to others if we lose this point, or how embarrassing it would be to blow a big lead. But the moment you start thinking from the outside in, you lose your focus and your ability to stay calm and composed. Thinking from the outside in is toxic. You are not doing this to look good or win the admiration of onlookers, so put all thoughts about looking bad out of your mind and just focus on playing the game 1 point at a time. Win or lose, do it your way. 13. Don't expect perfect circumstances. It's easy to say the conditions were poor, you had a little ailment, or that nothing is going your way today. But these are all just excuses that tempt you down the road of surrender. You only get the perfect circumstances so many times in life. Don't dwell on what has gone against you. Don't worry that the conditions favor your opponent. Ignore the pain you feel in your knee. What you have is what you have. There will never be another chance to win this game. Be like MacGyver and use everything that you have at your disposal to succeed right now. Mental toughness is really just about approaching the game from the right perspective. The next time you step out onto the field, ignore the score, focus on being in the moment, and tell that little, criticizing, and excuse-seeking voice in your head to shut the hell up. You'll be glad you did. These are just a few of the many ways you can build your mental toughness.